Hey folks, this is Brad with PCMech.com, and today we're going to show you how to track down those applications that take up all your battery life in Windows 10. First things first, you want to select the Start menu, click on Settings, go over to the System option, and then scroll down to the Battery Saver tab. Here you'll see how much battery life you have remaining, as well as the estimated time remaining on that battery. From there, you'll want to click on the battery use selection here, right under the estimated time remaining. And here is where you will get a whole lot of more information on what is taking up your battery. So, for example, we'll start off at the top. By default, you'll see information across all apps from the last 24 hours, but you can look at 48-hour options as well as up to 1 week. Under that, you'll see on a 100% scale how much your system is using, how much your display is using, and how much your Wi-Fi is using. In some cases, you'll see that the display uses the most, as it does take a significant amount of power to keep the display on, although that varies depending on your resolution, brightness, and so on. In my case, the system is taking up a whole lot more, though. And then down here, you'll see in-use applications taking up 75.7% of the battery, and you also see background applications taking up the other remaining 24.3%. Generally, you can't do anything with the in-use option here. You can't change the battery life that in-use applications are taking, aside from terminating that application. However, you can change how much battery life background apps are using. Down here, you'll get an idea of what's taking up your battery in the background. So, for instance, you have Google Chrome on my computer taking up 13.7%, then Google Drive, Cam Studio, Steam, and so on. But to change the how much battery life background apps are using, go into this setting here called Change Background App Settings. And from there, you'll be able to turn on and off a bunch of different applications from taking up battery life in the background. It'll help conserve a lot of power. Unfortunately, this only seems to work for many of the default Windows 10 apps, although these can tend to take a lot of battery life sometimes, so it's usually a good idea to turn some of them off, at least the ones you're not using. And we'll go back to the battery use tab, and if you click on something like Google Chrome, if you select it, you can actually click on details for more information. It doesn't give you a whole lot of information, but you can do the same for Google Drive, as well as, say, Cam Studio. And of course, the way to save that battery life with those in-use apps is to just terminate applications entirely. And to do that, you would right-click on the start bar here, click on Task Manager, and click on Processes, and just start terminating applications by right-clicking on them, pressing on Task. Also, another thing you can do that will conserve battery life is turning applications off that on startup. Some applications do have quite an impact on your processing power on startup. So, for instance, we have Origin here, takes up quite a bit. But it also is nice to turn these off because they don't automatically start up, meaning they're not taking up that battery life. So when you do start that up manually, it's only taking up battery life for when you're actually using the program. So to do that, you will just select on one of these applications and press the disable button here. And that's all there is to it, folks. We've got a more detailed article on the subject over on our website, PCMech.com. You can grab a link to that in the description below. And also be sure to check out our YouTube channel, where we've got a bunch of great tutorials, tips, tricks, and reviews for you. I've been Brad with PCMech.com, and until next time.